Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. So,
Yes.
I head back to the road,
All right.
and I'm gonna sit on the side of the road. I'm gonna find like a piece of wood somewhere, and I'm just gonna kind of start aimlessly carving it into something. You know, if it's a long piece of wood, I'll maybe try and carve like a doll of a person standing. If it's a big flat piece or a big square piece of wood, I'll maybe try and carve a person's face. Or, I don't know, skull or something. I don't know. We'll just see where the wood takes me.
Do you have any sort of wood carving skill?
No.
No. Okay, so
Unless fire building counts.
you could carve this into firewood.
Aha! I've succeeded.
All right. You wait a couple of hours. There are a few birds fluttering around. I don't think you pay them much mind.
But Wallace,
But otherwise-
Eric is thinking, this is life. Out in nature. You don't have any farm work to do. You don't have to push a plow. I got days worth of food. I got a little camp set up. There's just me and the birds and the wind in the sky. This is good. I'll just, I can stay here for another 10 days. I'll just hang out on the side of the road and enjoy life and get a little bit of a tan and, rob
10
anyone that
days
comes by.
later. All right. So a couple of hours pass and you spy not a soul but the birds. The clouds loom closer. And it grows overcast and a little more blustery.
Well, maybe it's going to start raining soon. Can I tell where the sky was about now?
The sky was and still is directly overhead.
Or the sun is in the sky.
It's straight ahead from you now, sinking low in the sky.
Well, I'm halfway between these two towns, so if no one's here yet, no one's going to be here at the end of the day. Like, who's going to set out halfway through the day and have to walk through the night? So I'll call it a day and head back to camp.
All right.
Don't want to be sitting in a rainstorm. How you catch cold. And I think to myself, if it rains, can Wallace just stand out in the rain all night? I mean, I'm sure I can't bring him in my tent. My tent's not big enough for me and Wallace, but
You do have a tent.
I do have a tent. I have a... What does tent have? I have a small tent. It weighs 10 pounds.
Yes. Not a Wallace-sized tent.
But I do also have 10 yards of cloth and 100 feet of rope. So if I need to, I can tie Wallace with like 10 feet of rope or 15 feet of rope or something, maybe 20 feet, and then wrap the rest around a tree and then kind of bring it out. Oops, sorry, and try and create like some sort of like square between it and other trees, and then maybe the 10 yards of cloth over it, to try and create like a shelter for him. Do I have a sewing kit with me? I don't have a sewing kit with me.
So do you construct Wallace such a shelter?
Yeah, I try and build Wallace a shelter where if it starts to rain, he could stand under it and, not take the full force of the wind.
You tie your tarp between some trees to make a little rain shelter for Wallace. Although you've been with Wallace in the rain before, and he doesn't seem to mind.
But you gotta treat him right. Then I'll light my fire and make myself some food, and snuggle in my tent for the night.
Yeah. So by sundown, the clouds roll in and it begins to rain. You go to bed, you leave the fire lit.
Sure, it'll go out in the water.
Yeah.
Sure, the hissing of water on hot wood will be pleasant enough. I take one last check to make sure that my tent is not placed at like the bottom of a hill where it's going to flood with water. I make sure it's on at least a slight incline, and All tonight.
Yeah. Where do you keep your things? Are they in with
the
you,
tent.
or are they with Wallace?
No, they're in the tent. Away from all the things that are not the tent or Wallace, or the things that are sheltering Wallace, are inside the tent. I guess the cooking pot and the sticks it's held up on can stay outside. Those don't need to come in.
Okay. All right. You were woken a few times in the night by the crashing of thunder and lightning in the distance. But otherwise, it is an uneventful night. You wake, and it is still raining.
Well, I eat a little bit of snack while I sit in my tent and think about this. It's a miserable day out there. I don't think anyone's going to be traveling the road today. So, I bring Wallace some food, or I don't know.
Do you have Wallace food?
No, I guess I've just been letting him graze. So
Yeah. He grazes, eats grass and poisonous mushrooms. And
yeah, I'll drag a bunch of those
whatever donkeys
mushrooms
eat.
from the fairy circle over here and toss them in front of him.
What do the legends say about disturbing the Troll King's circle?
I wasn't paying close enough attention to know what happens then. As far as I'm concerned, the mushrooms will just regrow eventually. And it didn't appear to be a troll, it appeared to be some sort of furry mammal. So, definitely not a troll. Alright, I make sure Wallace has got some food, and I'll just kick it in my tent, working on my carving. Pass the day.
All right. You probably get pretty bored carving.
Yeah, definitely. I start thinking of a game called Humans and Houses.
All right. I think we'll skip to the next day unless you...
Nope, that's fine. I'll just keep
Have
marking
something else
off
you wanna do?
rations.
Sure.
Okay.
Alrighty. The storm breaks sometime that night, and you awaken to a clear but chilly morning.
Right. I'm excited. I immediately exit, don my armor and weapons, dismantle Wallace's shelter, and take him by his reins and out to a fresh place to graze that's away from all of his shit and piss that he's been tied up next to. He's probably eaten all the food around him. So, I take him out down by the road to graze and begin my watch.
All right. Roll a perception check.
Nice. 16. I am paying attention to my donkey.
Yeah. At some point you see, as Wallace is grazing, you see him perk up and sort of look down the hill, and you are a little surprised to see a herd of elk has sort of come up and around you. They're still maybe 100 or so yards off, but they've kind of, you can see maybe a dozen of the creatures passing through the other side of the road. I don't know if you crossed the road, but
No,
in
not
the hills.
yet. Elk. Well, while they might make fine food, they don't have any gold, and I don't want to be preparing meat all day. That sounds like a messy job. I'm taking a bandaging job because it requires the least amount of effort to survive. I am not hunting shit. You fucking kidding me? That's time for someone who wants to work for a living. So I'll chill and keep an eye on the elk, make sure they don't get too aggressive.
Okay. They pass through within another 45 minutes or so.
And I You know, I try out being a road bandit. I just wait on the side of the road for someone to come by.
All right.
Anyone.
How long do you wait? Let's go. So we'll pass a couple of hours. Where do we find you?
At the side of the road. I mean, this is my job. I hang out at the road and I carve shit with sticks and knives, and I wait 7 days.
Okay, well, you don't need to wait 7 days.
That's when I'll run out of food. Then I'll head back into town.
So go ahead and place yourself.
Sure, that's.
You only have to wait 2 more hours. Well, I guess it was a day and 2 hours.
Oh. But you know, Eric gets restless, so he'll wait in one spot, and then he'll like move to the other side of the road and try out that spot. Then he'll move back to the other side of the road and down a ways and try out that spot, and he'll move back a little bit onto a bit of a rise, and then he'll go down onto the road itself. You know, he's a relaxed individual. He's not just watching the road for things. It can't be that difficult of a job, right?
Sure.
And it is slow going.
Yeah. Roll a perception check.
See the people coming down the road?
Yeah, sure.
Well, 33 then, but considering it's my only action and the road is...
Yeah, but you do your one job well, and sure enough, couple hours into the probably more like 4 hours, you spot a cart coming between a couple of hills down the road.
I kind of shake myself out a little bit. Think to myself, well, I haven't had a target in... It's been almost a week now. While I do have money for the time being, if I'm going to buy more food for myself, I'm going to need more money, and I might even need a bigger tent, one that Wallace can come in if it gets nasty. So, let's just hope this target is something targetable.
Sure. Let's see. I don't know if I broke Roll20 with too many pages.
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure what's going on. I can't really change the map. I can't add wagons, can't add hills. All right. Yeah, so you spot this wagon. It's a... I don't know, how much can a single donkey carry?
On his back?
On a wagon.
They can carry on their back 250 without being encumbered, 500 at maximum encumbrance, but they can pull, I think it's 3 times that amount.
Okay.
I have some charts. Look at my charts.
Let's just say a single donkey towing this cart with a single man riding atop it.
Okay.
Heading north.
Perfect.
Betwixt 2 hills. You sight him maybe 500 feet off.
Okay. Let's see.
Down and around between those hills.
No, I'm sorry. They can pull 10 times what they can lift.
Yeah. And you actually like make eye contact with the driver at the, like simultaneously. Like you look up from your whittling, he spots you. Are you armed and armored?
Oh yeah. But I give him a friendly wave as he approaches.
Friendly, huh?
Super friendly.
Roll a charisma check.
Plus 14. Boom! 32.
Yeah. He
Eric
gives you
is super friendly.
Yeah, he gives you a friendly wave back as he gets within maybe 300 feet. He goes, "Hail, fellow!
Hail, fellow!
Well met."
Indeed.
And pulls his wagon closer to you.
What you carrying? If you don't mind my asking.
Supplies, wheat, some ale.
Hell of a storm yesterday, huh?
Yeah. Would have probably left yesterday morning if it weren't for it.
Well, my ass got caught in the storm and had to make camp for the night. We're just waiting for it to dry out.
Is Wallace there? Or is Wallace in the camp?
No, he's back in the camp.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if the guy catches the...
Well, it's supposed to be a pun.
Yeah. He pauses the cart near you. If you'd like to have a conversation.
Yeah. So you headed up to Ashenholt? Get a grain market up there?
Tribute, I suppose.
Ooh. Not selling it?
Rations for the soldiers.
And you ain't getting paid for that, are you?
He shrugs.
Well, that's a damn shame. You know, I say, coming close, like, adjacent to the cart. I was gonna console myself by saying you were gonna make some good money, but I pull out my dagger and pointed at him. But now I'm just gonna have to feel guilty for taking all of your money. Sorry, buddy. Hand it up. Or, you see, in your leg you got this thing called a femoral artery. It carries a lot of blood through it. A quick nick there, and well, he'll bleed out in a few moments. Now.
What's...
You gotta pay the road toll. Or, you know, whatever. Top up the cash, buddy.
I ain't got much cash, and
that's why
I'll be a dead man if my goods don't make it.
Oh, you can keep your goods. I ain't got no use for grain. But why don't you just stay there? And I start to reach over and feel around his waist for a coin purse.
Sure. You find a small coin purse at his side.
I take it, or I ask him to untie it. You know, I can't untie it with one hand.
I
have a stab the shit out of him.
Now that no need to do anything rash. He unties the coin purse.
Right. I take it and just kind of toss it back on the grass or the hill beside the road, or just to the side of the road, so it's out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, and let's see. A person like you probably expects some sort of highway robbery, so you've probably got some money buried around else somewhere here. You got a secret compartment somewhere on this wagon?
No, that's it. That's my money for dinner tonight.
Well, we all can spend 1 or 2 nights hungry. God knows I spent plenty of hungry nights myself. You'll be all right. But something tells me you're hiding some money on you elsewhere. So why don't we make this easy, real easy? You just give up whatever else you have on you, and I let you, your donkey, and your goods go unmolested. If I have to start searching the cart, well, I might accidentally spill a bag of grain on the ground, and then you're going to be showing up without any of your tribute. So let's do this the easy way.
I assure you, friend, there's no secret compartment. There's you can see there's the grain.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to start looking through that grain then, and I pull myself up with my 16 strength and 17 dex onto the back of the cart and start going through grain bags, kind of lifting them and tossing them to the side. I don't throw any of them out of the cart unless there's no way to search the cart without tossing the grain off to the side.
Roll a perception check.
Come on, perception check. 24. It's not the best.
You're pretty confident that there's nothing hidden. There's a bunch of sacks of grain, 2 barrels of ale in the back of this cart, covered with a tarp. You find no secret compartment underneath the well, there is a compartment underneath the seat, but there's like an apple and a loaf of bread in there.
Leave it.
There is a small club, small wooden cudgel.
I'd leave that as well. Well,
and a little I don't know, whip or whatever, switch or whatever for spanking the donkey, slapping that ass.
Well then, buddy.
The guy stands helplessly in the road, like his hands on his head, sort of watching you dig through his stuff.
Looks like you're telling the truth. Now, let me get another closer look at you. I sheath my dagger, come over, and I try and pat him down. See if he's got anything on him anywhere else. Any other bags or pouches?
He puts up with it. No other bags. He had a small coin purse at his side, and
Make sure he's not hiding any coins in his loincloth. I give him a good pat underneath.
You sufficiently degrade this poor man. He has nothing concealed in his loincloth.
All right, well, you're free to go. Have a good rest of your day. You too. And he rides off. All right, I wait for him to be at least 200 feet away before I take my eyes off of him, and then go find the coin purse I tossed on the side of the road and dig through it.
It's pennies. There's about 14 copper and a single silver piece.
Seriously? I grumble to myself about how little money I just made.
Yeah, that's me being generous. Assuming this guy brought some lunch money with him.
Yeah.
The Monsters Manual says peasants have nil for treasure.
I sit back down on the side of the road and wait for the next traveler and start thinking of a way to... Maybe this isn't the right way of making money. Maybe I ought to just target the wealthier people that come by. Maybe these peasants should get a free pass. Maybe that's why we tax the wealthier at a higher percentage rate.
So actually, you sent the guy on his way and you counted his money. Roll another perception check.
31. Oh my god,
Yeah.
I've been so lucky today.
You're sort of standing in the road, and you look left and you see another cart heading your way.
All right. I think to myself, we'll make small talk. If they're just a farmer with nothing to offer, we'll probably let him go. If he got something good, or if he looks like he might... All right, we got this. Hey there, buddy! I give the guy a big wave.
Another naive, friendly farmer smiles and waves back.
How's it going?
Yeah. This time there's actually two, a man, a woman, and two donkeys.
Oh, all right.
Pulling a cart.
I give him a friendly wave. So,
The two wave back.
as they approach, I say, howdy, fellas. You headed up to Ashenholt?
Hello there. Yes, indeed.
Fantastic. Hell of a storm last night, right?
They nod.
Well, my ass...
We're in for a cold, wet winter, I say.
Well, my ass got all drenched and stuck up there on the hill, so we're letting him dry out and rest up while we wait to head up to Ashenholt.
Watch your language. My wife's right here.
Oh, I meant my donkey, my burro, my beast of burden. Yeah.
Yeah. Our asses are pretty soggy as well.
Yeah. I take a good look at the woman. Does she have any jewelry on? Earrings, any necklaces, any rings?
She has a small string tied around her neck. You can't see what's at the end of it, but it goes down her blouse.
This guy said that he was this was his wife, so I checked their hands for wedding bands.
You do see wedding bands.
Do they look to be a precious metal?
Do you have an appraisal check?
I mean, do they look golden or silver colored?
They look a dull golden color.
So what you heading up to Ashenholt?
Supplies for the keep.
Making good trade on that?
Maybe get some for our cloth. The corn's just taxes.
You got a lot of cloth, I say?
He shrugs.
Do you have a sewing kit for sale as well? By any chance?
The man looks to his wife and they exchange hushed words. Not especially, but if you're looking to buy a sewing kit, suppose we could part with one.
Yeah, I
And
can.
they
I need
stands
a.
up and starts rooting underneath the seat and pulls out like a small bag and produces a small sewing kit. What sounds fair?
Silver pieces at most?
Is that what you suggest? You suggest a few silver pieces?
Yeah, couple silver?
LN is a needle in. A pin is 6 GP. Am I misreading something?
That can't be right.
No.
That's got to be a different sort of pin.
It's under clothing.
Is that like a pin that you would wear on your? I could see.
I thought there was a wait. Sewing needle is 5 silver.
Oh my god. Okay.
I could part with it for 3 silver pieces.
Yeah, sure. I pay the man his 3 silver.
Such a successful bandit. He
You know,
gives you a sewing kit. It's got a single needle, a couple of pins, which apparently are worth quite a few gold. If you can find an adventurer who takes the player's handbook seriously, and some thread.
Hey, I'm just gonna write sewing kit. I give him the wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And I sigh heavily to myself, knowing that these guys have nothing of value on them, and to rob them would be pointless and just piss more people off, so I'll let them go unmolested. Eric is rethinking this banditing job. You know, it's supposed to be easy money, but kind of just depressing. Poor farmers, they ain't got much going on for them. Maybe I should find high-value targets, Eric thinks to himself. So he asks the couple, any good social events going on for them nobles? Any big weddings coming up, or coronations or anything? What's the news?
No weddings that I know of, but I don't think I'd be invited even if there was.
Oh, I certainly wouldn't be either, but when you've been on the road as long as I have, any little bit of gossip and news is, well, it'll keep you going for a few more days.
They hanged old man Wiggins down in Farway. Man lived there for damn near 60 years.
Didn't I hear old man Wiggins was a witch?
Yeah, he was up to some sketchy stuff in his hut, but one time my auntie caught ill and he brewed her a tea that seemed to put her right. Maybe it was a potion. Auntie did get a little soulless in her old age.
Well, it could hardly be the fault of a potion. My grandma... Well, you don't want to hear what happened to my grandma. I'm sure you've seen it with your own. Well, if that's all... have a good day, folks.
Yep. Pleasure doing business.
I give him a nod. And I look longingly at the cart from behind as they ride off. Is there anything on that back of the cart that looks like it's worth something?
The cart? The donkeys?
Yeah, that's what I thought. There's no, like, big box of gold that I just passed over.
No, I mean, if it is full of cloth, you could probably fetch some gold for that.
Yeah, I don't want to be a cloth merchant. That's work. I'm a bandit. I go for the easy wealth.
Are you now? How much gold have you bandited?
I never said I was a successful bandit. But that's okay. Not, you don't just start and then reach success. There are steps, there are failures, there are setbacks. I'll be a successful bandit one day. I think to myself. And then I sit back on the side of the road and ponder my lot in life while I wait for my next victim, or to be victimized in my own part.
Roll a perception check.
22.
Yeah. You hear some horses approaching as it's getting towards later in the afternoon.
Okay. Can I get a better description of them?
You probably hear them before you see them. Are you still by the side of the road?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And between those two hills, you spot a pair of riders.
I'm sorry, did you say they're heading north or heading south?
Heading north towards you.
Ah, alright. I, position myself on the side of the road and keep an eye on them, expecting it to be the riders from a few days ago.
Yeah, as they get within a couple hundred feet, you think you recognize them.
Okay. I give them a bit of a wave.
They slow down a bit. Nod back. They would give you a smirk. They slow down a bit, but they don't appear to stop for you or anything.
All right. I'll let them go. If they had stopped, I would have murdered them. I need better targets, At first, I avoided them because I thought they might be too difficult of targets. Now I'm realizing that's going to have to be the sort of target I have if I want to make any money. But if they don't stop, I don't stop them.
Yeah, they slow down but ride past with barely an acknowledgement.
Fair enough. Then I continue.
Yeah, within another hour or so, the sun hangs low in the sky.
Mm-hmm. Then I start heading back. Dark.
All right. Return to camp.
Mm-hmm.
Wallace is eating his way through most of the mushroom patch.
I'll just have to move him to another section of grass where he can sit more comfortably. Today's not looking very good, Wallace. I've lost more money than I've made. Granted, I spent it on something to make you a better house with. I'm losing money on you, donkey. I'm losing money on you. I check out my shit and head to bed. Just I think I'm just gonna kind of skip the peasants on the road from now on. Just, anyone that looks like anyone with a horse, I will target, or anyone that looks like they might have, nicer clothes or any signs of wealth. A carriage would be fantastic. Even a carriage pulled by donkeys.
Good.
Is Roll20 still wigging out on you?
Yeah. Oh well. It's fine. All right, so I guess we move on to the next day.
Okay. Next day.
All right. I guess you wait on the side of the road for more peasants to harass.
I will skip the peasants. I'm waiting for soldiers. I'm waiting for nobles. I'm waiting for anyone with a pulse. Well, no. Anyone with a reasonable amount of wealth that I could discern from them.
Sure. Let's see.
The soggy ass bandit. Lovely.
I'd say the morning passes uneventfully.
All right. I have 6 days that I can wait after this before I've only got 1 day of food, and then I'll head back into town somewhere. So I just keep on waiting.
6 days? Is that what you said? So maybe we'll fast forward through a few of those days. Mm-hmm. So I guess later that afternoon, the 2 carts that you saw the day before are returning south, now empty. Do you hide when you see the guy that you robbed? Do you just like wave him by? Mm-hmm. All right.
I give him a friendly wave, but I don't even say anything to him.
Yeah. See, he avoids eye contact, and you imagine he's going, I hope he doesn't harass me. I hope he doesn't. And they ride past.
You know, I start thinking to myself, maybe I should hit a few more peasants. At least then they'd get some armed guards to come out and find me, and those guys could have some money. And I don't want to be... maybe we'll wait. We'll just wait for one good target. You know, no one's going to care about a couple of peasants getting robbed as long as their goods aren't stolen. But if I rob a noble or a wealthy merchant or anyone of standing, that'll get some... Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Right. So the evening or the afternoon passes uneventfully. I guess we'll skip to the next day. Mm-hmm. Another slow morning. I mean, you're a couple hours from town, so you'd expect that it'd take a few hours before you see anyone. Mm-hmm. Roll a perception check. Sort of after. Where do you take your lunch?
Oh, I just sit there and eat it right there on the road.
Okay. Is that 24 it?
Yes, it is.
Rolled anything but perception checks this session. Oh, I guess you did have that awkward badger harassment.
And there was a charisma check and an int check.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And some the rest are perceptions. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got that. Yeah, you feel like you've got a pretty good spot. You're a couple hundred feet up from that little gap in the hill. Mm-hmm. Where you kind of can spot people emerging. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I guess it's about at the same time as they would spot you, but they may be surprised, whereas you're kind of looking there waiting. You're munching on your rations, and you spot a couple of people walking out on foot. Maybe about a half dozen.
All right. An eye on them.
Yeah. As you look, you notice that the back 4 are all restrained. They're chained together.
Hey now.
And yeah, you see that one of the front 2 is armed and armored.
One of the front 2?
One of the front 2.
What's
and
he
the other
armored
is,
with?
You can see some glints of metal, so maybe like a studded leather or something along those lines.
Okay. Digging it.
And he's got a sword and a club. As you get closer to the other is armed and fine cloths, I guess you would say.
I give them a wave as they come by.
Mm-hmm.
Howdy, gentlemen. You transporting prisoners?
The armed man sort of eyes you suspiciously and doesn't respond. The other in sort of in fine, dusky red cloths. He's got a large mustache and a sort of floppy auburn hat. He pouts his lower lip at you and gives a grunt as they make no move to slow down or stop.
I begin to walk alongside them and say, "So, what crimes did these fellas commit?"
The guy puts the hand, or the guard, we'll call him, puts a hand on his sword, and sort of, I don't know, looks to shoulder you out a little bit. I mean, you walk beside them.
Sure. I slow, so I'm walking beside the prisoners, and I turn and say to the middle one,
"Oh, are you a magistrate? Perhaps a lord? It's none of your business."
"I'm just
He
asking."
eyes you up and down. You're armed and armored.
Yes, I am. I probably look a lot like a bandit.
Yeah. He says, "What are you? Some highway robber?"
Yeah, just a highway robber talking to prisoners that are being taken off. Are you guys being executed? I suggest to the prisoners.
They look downtrodden in their eyes at the ground. Roll another perception check.
26. My luck can't hold forever, though.
They look foreign. Their complexion is quite a bit paler from the local people here. And you notice that one of them actually has pointed ears.
Okay. I think this is all that I need to know. There's one guard and one fancy-looking, the boss and the guard.
Yeah.
All right. So I've been walking beside the prisoners for a moment here. Is the guard facing me?
Yeah. So you're walking beside the prisoners for about 30 seconds. The guard, so you only had a few seconds where you asked the prisoners a question. They didn't respond. They kept their eyes on their feet. The guy kind of turned and followed you over his shoulder, and then you hear the boss, I guess, say, "Morris, get this guy out of here." And so the guard kind of turns to face you.
I stop in the middle of the road and go, Morris, you're not gonna. Come on, I'm just.
He keeping his right hand still on his on the hilt of his blade. He goes to shove you with your left, with his left. Do you act? Do you take the shove?
Yeah, I was hoping he wouldn't be close enough for me to shove me, but
you were like only a few feet away from him.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like you were walking side by side with him, and then you walked maybe 5-10 feet back to the prisoners. You're all chained together, and
I will act. I will draw daggers and stab Morris.
Roll initiative.
All right. Brought my shield out for this one. Oh, I don't use dice anymore. I'm sorry. A D10 plus 2. Ooh, even better roll.
All right, so you get your dagger. So you see him. He steps towards you to shove, and you draw your dagger. Oh no, we're using initiative phases.
Right, good catch. So I go on. So I roll a 2.
You're both fast. Yeah, you roll a 2. You beat him. So you got your dagger drawn as he's moving towards you to shove.
All right, so I'll make my.
So you can.
My 2 melee attacks in the fast, and then my second, that's it, because I only have 1 attack.
I don't think you can draw 2 weapons in a single action. Does 2E specify that?
I don't think
it specifies, but I think you can only draw one blade first.
Let's take a look. That's that will be important to me in the future.
Because in 5e they specify this, and you definitely can't draw 2 weapons in a single round unless you like.
But 5e does use a 6-second, and 2e uses a 10-second round.
Yeah. Well, 2e uses a minute round. In Combat Tactics, I think it is a 10-second round, which I feel like is going to cause some problems.
I don't see drawing weapon in the index anywhere.
I don't either.
All right, time to go to the PDF.
For now, I'm curious. I think for now I'll let you draw both weapons, but
Okay. Hold on, I can actually. I have a PDF of the combat and tactics. I can search or draw. Withdraw, 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 draw. No. Falls, withdraws. And not in the combat and tactics anywhere. Interesting. There's handbook.
I don't think they do specify.
Yeah.
So I'll let you draw both daggers.
Okay.
And roll to hit.
All right, D20 plus 1. I take it I don't get surprise on this. But it doesn't matter. I rolled a 5 and a 6.
So you draw both daggers, and I think kind of lunge at him, and it gets. Do you make it that obvious? I was going to say he didn't even necessarily notice that you went for the daggers. That it just kind of you kind of close into a melee, and he goes to shove without realizing would provoke an opportunity attack. But the way you stabbed makes me.
I'm just making actions here. I don't really know what my character does. I'm not a dagger specialist. I have no idea how to fight with them.
I assume it was more of a subtle shiv, but maybe not.
You're probably right. It's probably a.
I'm not going to lawyer for you. He draws his sword.
Okay.
12?
No, my AC is 16 without my shield.
Alrighty. Does he have a THAC0? No, he does not. Alright. We roll initiative every round, correct?
I don't remember if
I think
every
so.
round or once at the beginning. I don't think it matters that much, but...
Alright. The slaves actually stop to look at this commotion.
Okay.
And the merchant shouts, "Flee, bandit!
Yeah, at the beginning of each
You'll
round.
get lost if you know what's good for you." Roll initiative.
3.
3. Alright, you win once again.
Alright, I make my first shank. Oh my god, all of my good rolls were wasted.
Death.
They're all wasted on perception checks. Oh god, it's all a fail. Everything is a fail.
Yeah, he swipes your dagger aside with his sword, and it goes clattering. That was your right or your left hand?
My left hand, but I'm ambidextrous, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it goes clattering towards the slaves and lands at their feet. Another 12.
All right, I get my
dexterously slip out of the way.
I get my
you do get a
second
specialized attack, don't you?
Yeah. 12. There we go.
No, goes clattering off of a plate of metal embedded within his leather armor.
All right. That's why I carry 4 daggers on my belt.
Okay.
Well, actually, only 3 because I lost one to the badger or whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
So I will draw my last dagger and continue next round.
Let's roll initiative.
6.
At this point, the slaver is walking over.
Does he have a weapon?
He's got a cane, I guess a walking stick in his hand, and he sort of walks over to, I don't know, join the fray and ward you off. What did you roll? Initiative?
6.
Oh God! Everything happens simultaneously.
Oh, that's the best. All right.
Although the movement does change things, so the slaver does. I'll have him go last, even though he's only got to walk a few feet. So you and the 10. He misses with his short sword.
6 and 8.
Oh God!
This battle.
What's a 13 misses you, right?
Yeah, 16.
Yeah. So the slaver, he draws a concealed blade from his cane, but misses. So now you're like pressed in towards the slaves, with these two guys surrounding you.
Okay. So my back is to the slaves?
Yeah.
Are they bound? Their feet are shackled to one another, right?
Oh, did we... You there?
I'm here. Hello?
Oh.
Hello? Hello?
Hey, are we still alive? We good?
Yeah, we're still live.
Yeah, sorry, it seemed like my internet hiccuped for a second there. I don't know if I can... My Roll20 is kind of screwing up. I'm not sure if I can add tokens for the other guys. Maybe I'll reboot on break.
Yeah. Got theater of mind.
Yeah. So...
how are the slaves bound? Are their hands bound to each other, or are their feet bound to each other?
Both.
Okay, so...
Both. Their hands are in manacles and their feet are like tied together with a length of rope.
But like are two slaves' hands bound to each other?
Their hands are not bound.
So if I wanted to like walk backwards in between a line of slaves...
No, you would, I mean... You could step over, I guess, the rope linking them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I want to know my options.
Actually, I think you'd have to duck under. No. Their feet would be bound together so they can't like take off running.
Right.
Yeah. So the slaves are to your back. The guard is to your left, and then the merchant is sort of circled around. We're rolling initiative again.
Right. Now, guys, I just wanted to know what these guys were going to jail for.
I think they both beat you.
Uh-oh.
This could be the end.
Any moment could be the end with 2 HP.
Oh, yikes.
Is that a hit?
That is it. Your AC is 16?
Yes.
That's a 16.
That's a hit. All right, guys. This is the end of Dagger Man.
That's the end of Dagger Man, isn't it?
It's more than 1 damage.
Yeah, I can't pull the punches.
Nope, don't pull the punches.
Yeah, that's 4 points of damage to Dagger Man. The merchant who circled around sticks you with his staff blade, whatever you call it. His cane blade. And your world goes black.
And on that note, why don't we go to break and we'll see you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.